Hello everyone, welcome to Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast on the internet that's celebrating their 100th episode this week. I'm Will, and joining me as always, Brandon.
I'm older than ever.
Ills.
I'm shocked we made it this far, truly.
Saf.
I'm younger than ever.
And Moosemill.
I almost accidentally did the intro myself. I'm like, hey everyone, welcome to Jump Up Supercast.
It's been a minute. I'm back.
And we had to have everybody back for episode 100.
Everybody except Noah.
Asterisk. well, no, it's not part of the podcast technically anymore. So, you know.
I mean, his name will be said multiple times on this podcast, though.
Sure.
Because this is our 100th episode. Yes, of course. Yeah. I mean, if you listen to the Game Club, you're hearing Noah still on a regular basis.
Yeah.
But
happy 100.
Happy 100.
Yay!
Round of applause for everyone involved.
Thank you, all the bots. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you out there. All of you bots that have definitely real avatars of real women that you are on SoundCloud. We appreciate you. Yeah, so it's the 100th episode this week. It's the start of the new year, right? With the new year, you look forward, and we'll do that later on in the podcast. But now, let's take our minds all the way back to the very first episode of the Jump Up Supercast. All right, let's do a little brief retrospective. Can you guess when the first episode was uploaded? Any idea?
It was
January 20th?
It was late January 20.
It was like the weekend that Monster Hunter World came out. I'm pretty sure.
I'm 100% guessing because I wasn't here.
So I'm
Dragon Ball Fighters 2, I think, just came out.
Yeah, they came out the same day. I'm gonna say January 30th.
Very close for both of you. If you average it out, January 26th, 2018.
Okay.
We Are in a Glass Case of Emotion was the title of the episode because we didn't know how to name episodes yet. What do you think was the first piece of news we ever talked about on the Jump Up Supercast?
I'm pretty sure I actually remember. It was an Xbox Game Pass.
A thing that would continue to be a news headline, the announcement that all first-party games would be day one on Game Pass by Microsoft.
Some would say our favorite headline, because we talk about Game Pass a lot.
Constantly.
All the time.
A through line.
It's worth talking about. It's really
it
good.
is. But like, I think it's a perfect first news story for us. And I think it's an interesting. We're looking back now, right? Mm-hmm. And this year is the year that new consoles are launching. Including a new Xbox, and Game Pass is a big story of that. So we're gonna continue talking about Game Pass for the coming year, really.
Yeah,
we are. Yeah. I mean, you can get 3 months for $1. Xbox.
Power to
Phil
player.
Spencer does not pay us, just to be clear. But if you want to,
he
Phil,
should.
I know you're listening, Phil. You owe us a little. Game Pass has been on the rise, coincidentally, at the same time that we've been running this podcast.
Good point.
I'm just saying, bro.
It's true. The second news headline, I think, is of note. Another thing that sort of permeates our podcast. I don't think you probably could guess this, but we immediately went to NPD discussions, baby, which is our
topic of the month. Every single month.
There it is. Every month. Moose asks, and we most of the time say no.
And protractors.
That segment is literally just for me. I just want the audience to realize this now.
I will say I enjoy sales and numbers. I will.
No, you don't. Stop lying.
And here's the question: do you remember what the very first game we added, and who added it?
I think I can guess this.
Yeah, I can guess. It was Shovel Knight Treasure Trove.
It was.
Oh, I was not gonna guess that, but I added it.
Yeah, Muzzy added it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I remember I was the first ad. Brandon remembered what I added, and I didn't.
do you want to take a guess at where it ended up on the list?
At that time?
Yeah.
Number 2.
It can't be number 2. No.
It was number 2. I swear to God, it was behind Ocarina of Time.
Did you listen to the episode previously before we came on?
No, because there's only 5 games at the time.
There was only 5 games.
Wait, there's no way it went above Ocarina of Time, right? So
No, it was
one.
Exactly.
Ocarina was number 1.
What was number 2?
Number 2.
I can almost guarantee number 2. We started with Ocarina of Time,
Mario 3D Land,
Crash Bandicoot,
and Sonic 06. It definitely would have been.
It was just the Sonic. Yeah, it was number 2 then.
Yeah, exactly. And I guarantee you.
Oh, also Other M was number 4.
Other M.
You forgot, yeah.
And I bet Noah wanted it at number 1. I can't remember, but I bet he did.
It got dangerously close. Saf and Noah wanted it at number 1, but it was stopped at number 2.
Fucking ridiculous. Where is it now?
Also, it's now at
number
47 on the list.
2. Wow, we've had a lot of games on the list.
And another through line, the very first episode, Saf and Noah made their stand on Legacy known. That was half the discussion, which continues to this day.
To this day.
I
Now,
hope
do you
they made
remember
the right
first,
choice because I wasn't there.
Do you remember what the first game club game we ever did was?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Dragon
Dragon
Ball
Ball
Fighters.
Fighters.
Dragon
It was
Ball
the only one I
Fighters.
was a part of.
Uh-huh.
The only one.
Where do you think it ended up? You remember?
Too high.
Number. Well, did we rank it higher than 3D Land? I don't think we did.
Did we put it above Shovel Knight?
It's currently
No.
above 3D Land.
Okay.
I think we put it above Shovel Knight.
I think we put it below Shovel Knight.
You put it below Shovel Knight at number 3 on the list, so above
Okay.
3D Land.
But
Is
it
now
it should still be below
That's
3D Land.
No, I don't know about that.
Yeah.
and now it's at
easily.
81. So
Let's-
that one
let-
big difference.
Let's use this look back to relitigate every argument we've ever had.
It's true. That's what we do.
Do you have a week?
So then, chronologically, I looked at episode number 10. They announced Dragon Quest XI was going to come to the West in episode 10, and we talked about how game announcements will sometimes not match up with what creators intend, and how game marketers can more effectively announce their games, which I feel is another thing that we've had a whole problem with this year, as with all the controversies going on. But we added Until Dawn, by the way, and then can you guess the very first re-ranked game ever?
I'm pretty sure it's Melee.
Because Saf went and he wanted Melee right off the
Because
bat.
I literally remember how Saf went about it. He was like, Saf went first. And he was like, I'm going first, and I wanted Melee. And I was like, nothing.
Saf took control of the podcast, and he said Melee, and he said 23. It was at 6.
He instantly
Keep that in
gave us
mind.
where he wanted it.
And we had 50 at that point. He wanted it to drop over half the list, basically. Can you guess where it ended up ultimately?
God, at that
Couldn't have been
time,
that much higher, but though it's
Wait.
still pretty high.
I know it
During
went
the
lower
initial
at the very
re-rank,
least.
you mean?
Did it end up at 13 at that point?
No. It was always
No.
under 20.
14.
Right? What?
14.
14 on the
Jesus
list.
Christ.
Else we've added. I mean, the list was a lot smaller at that point.
It was 50 games,
Yeah.
very different world. It offered a very good quote because right after I wanted to re-rank Cave Story, and in a way, I think it looked like an attack on Saf, but wasn't. And the legacy argument happened again, and Saf goes, "Moose, you aren't being consistent in your arguments here. You don't mean anything." And Moose goes, "Well, I don't have to." And I feel like that's a good summation.
True. It doesn't mean
I've not changed one bit.
It remains true to this day. Then episode 25, we talked about gaming storefronts and if there could be any new ones, because PSN, we were complaining about the eShop and PSN having awful layouts. Little did we know there would be a coming storefront that people would be even more mad about than any of those.
Were we talking about a specific storefront that day, or just storefronts in general? Remember we had a discussion about Discord adding games.
Discord, that was later, but this was
Okay.
the thing where they published that the Switch had 2,000 games published on it in a month, and we talked about how
okay.
crazy
Right.
that was.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And then episode 50, we had the headline, Nintendo is going out of business, in parentheses, breaking news. This is all in caps, by the way. We didn't. That didn't happen, obviously. But another thing, my man Jason Schreier, I should say, we finally killed Amy Hennig's Star Wars game. After it had been canceled 3 times already, we had finally canceled it for good. Which was the thing of EA. That was 2018 was the year where EA had a very, very bad time. And this was sort of the cap on it.
Has EA risen in our estimation since then?
How good?
I mean, they had
was,
2 successes this year.
Last year.
Last year,
Oh,
you're right. I mean, they had Apex and they had
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Arguably 2 of their best games of this entire console generation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So I mean,
Well, I like Star
that's
Wars
just
a lot,
Respawn. Respawn.
Yeah.
But they also had Anthem to also bring their quota down a bit.
They did. But Anthem at least not get them in trouble with the government. So that, their stock did rise.
I'm gonna say Respawn thumbs up. Everyone else at EA thumbs down.
Yeah.
that seems to be the
Yeah,
way.
that seems accurate.
But then that's sort of I didn't go further than that but I did pick up along while I was listening back some notable quotables, right? So I'm going to give you a quote. I want you to guess which of the crew was the one that said it. All right.
If it's the stupidest thing, it's probably me.
All right.
I was about to say it's probably me.
First up is, you can't blame me. It's in my nature to be the first to swear. It's never my fault.
That's Saf by a
Saf.
wide margin.
That's it.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
And I think the first 50 episodes are all Saf immediately just going, shit, fuck, damn it, God,
Correct.
motherfucker.
And every time I would comment on it, I was going to ask, try to guess the context. And that's exactly what happened. I complained about Saf swearing because we don't put explicit on the podcast. And Saf was
I just turned up that trigger 7 times right there.
Oh, yeah. Well, we don't put explicit on the podcast, but there's this one episode of the Game Club where it just...
my god.
It's ridiculous.
Fucking Bulletstorm. Don't look it up.
Yeah.
It's real bad.
Yeah. I mean, it was true to the game.
Yes.
True, yeah.
Yeah, it was in the spirit of the game. That's why he did. That's why that episode was like that.
All right.
Starts off harsh and it keeps going.
After that, we have... Excuse me. If this is fake, I can never trust again. Probably in my personal life, too.
That's Noah.
That's Noah. That's Noah.
And I think it's the Grinch thing, right?
It's the Grinch leak.
Yeah.
That's the Grinch leak.
And that remains true. He has not trusted anyone.
Yeah. I think he mentioned that recently, too.
Yeah, because we were talking about Resident Evil 3 a couple weeks ago, and he's like, after the Grinch leak, I never believed anything again.
He doesn't forget.
Yeah.
That's funny.
And then this one's a two-parter. I was gonna pour one out for Saf and Noah, and then interrupted. Who gives a fuck about them? Reggie is gone. He's way more important.
That's Brandon.
That's Brandon. That feels like a Brandon quote.
That was. It was me, and then Brandon interrupted me. So yeah.
I was going to say, I feel as though you would say something like, I'll push one out for Saf and all.
Yeah.
yeah, Brandon interrupting saying, who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck about them? Reggie is gone. He's way more important than that.
Hey, I still stand by that. I mean...
There you go.
Okay, here's one. How was I supposed to know that Devil May Cry 5 was inspired by a goddamn Ricky Martin song?
That also sounds like Brandon. Maybe it's Hills, though.
I really don't think I said that.
It sounds like Kills.
It sounds like Saf.
Was it, though?
No, I don't even know who
It sounds like
Ricky Martin
Saf. Okay. I don't know then.
It was Ills.
Get the fuck out of here.
I did the bang, 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 pull my devil trigger, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, and you call it a Ricky Martin song.
Okay, sure.
All right.
I guess.
Here's one. I want to let it be known I would take $200 million to record the podcast in Saudi Arabia.
That sounds
Brandon.
like a Brandon thing.
It's wrestling related, so it's a Brandon thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy.
I would.
I would too,
Yeah.
to be fair. Me too, Brandon.
Got no fucking morals.
No.
Luigi caused them record losses. His death was long overdue.
Let's
Must.
say.
It's very easily, Ms. Mel. Do you remember the
He's still-
context?
Yeah. I mean, sales. I
Year
don't
of
know.
Luigi.
It was when Luigi fucking died in the Smash trailer. Remember inside with Simon Belmont.
All right.
Okay.
So we didn't even bring up sales. It was always on his mind. You know.
I'm always thinking about the fiscal year of Luigi, okay?
Uh-huh.
That's the worst year in Nintendo's history.
Worst year
so.
in Nintendo's history. I will not forgive you.
Yeah. And then finally, no, I'm the last person to give Muzi any credit. In fact, I make it a point to besmirch his name whenever possible.
That sounds
That's
like
ill.
That sounds like
that's absolutely ill.
That's ill.
Ills
by-
or Will?
That could be Will too.
It was me.
no.
Yeah. Whenever possible. That's a very Will or ill sentiment, though. I get it.
Yeah.
And then Welcome to the Jump Up Supercast, the only podcast to endorse Randy Pitchford's magic tricks.
That's you.
Yeah.
That has to be you.
That's
You're
you.
the
Has to
host.
be you. Well, I mean, we've had other hosts.
I
but-
guess.
You've been
Yeah.
fooled. It was a trick. It was Moose.
Oh, it was me.
No.
Because it's always fun to hear Moose because he never plans the intros when he does it. So he just sort of, you can hear midway through the sentence, he formulates what he's about to say.
I mean, he actually said a pretty good one there.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. It was
And I
top
stand by. I
Texas.
endorsed it
That was
wholeheartedly.
when they announced Borderlands 3.
Completely and utterly sincerely. I
He just
endorse
really
that
likes magic.
He should come. He should come on here and do magic tricks if he pays us.
Oh, no.
If he pays-
One of us has to act like we're barely
We'll give
18.
you a platform. All right, Randy, come on board.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, that's the guy. There it is. So there it is. There's a little bit of navel gazing, right? But 100 podcasts in, we're allowed one. I will let it be known though. It was fun to go back. A couple of notes I wrote down. We all sounded sick at the start. None of us had the proper microphone setups. We were all sounding like we wanted to die. I went through reverse puberty. My voice is way higher now than it was back then.
Wow.
I don't know what happened.
Benjamin
But
you feel
Button
about that?
situation going on.
there it is. But that was 2 years ago, right? In January. Last year,
Yeah.
we did some predictions in January, right? For the state of what would happen in 2018. All right.
For 19.
2019. You're right. I apologize. Thank you. All right. So now, before we go for our predictions for this year, let's go over how we did. Okay. And
I'm gonna say I nailed it.
I'm gonna ask each of you if you could remember what your predictions were. All
Yeah,
right.
Of course.
So first up, Muzamil, do you remember your predictions?
Last year I was very high on the idea of some sort of Mario. It was either Paper Mario or 3D Mario. One of those. Coming out in October. I don't remember what I predicted though.
The cursed word Super Mario Iliad. The
Yes!
prequel / successor to Super Mario Odyssey.
What the
It's
fuck?
important that it's a prequel because the Iliad
Yeah.
Came before the
okay.
Odyssey.
So
yeah,
dumb.
Ills was the one that pointed that out. Ills was like, it came before. And you're like, yeah, because it's a prequel.
Yeah, just like Mario Galaxy 2.
so
It
stupid.
fits.
And then you
What?
described it as Mario Odyssey style levels, but with actual platforming, to which all of us yelled at you.
That's happening this year, by the way. I was just early.
Yeah.
This October. Look
And-
forward to it.
We're all gonna say that to our predictions.
And then there is a crazy. You had your tilt, right, which was your more crazy prediction. You remember what that one was?
Oh God, no.
All right, I'll give you. I have just I quoted you a ton here because you said a lot of phrases. Pokemon 2019, quote unquote, will be revolutionary. It's gonna be the Breath of the Wild of Pokemon. This is the year that Pokemon will be the consensus game of the year. The most beautiful Switch game we have ever seen. You can control the camera.
He was
I
right
got
about that.
You got the camera controller right.
Control the camera.
Yeah.
And Noah just goes in the background. I mean, there's not super far-fetched. There's a chance. Little did we know.
Little did we know. I mean, it was Brandon's game of the year easily, so I just
Yeah, that
some
counts.
points for that.
You said
Brandon-
consensus.
Yeah. Consensus by the only
Because you
person
said
that
you did say you said
Brandon.
there's no clear
No,
front runner for
he's
game of the
right.
year. So Pokemon will fill that spot.
I was still right about that though. I feel like last year, there was no real front runner. You know, I mean, Pokemon clearly was not in that competition.
Correct.
At all.
The most
But
divisive
you know, there wasn't really like nothing stood out as like a God of War or Breath of the Wild or
Yeah.
um.
So here is one. There's one that's gonna be we were made wrong immediately on one of these. But next up, Brandon. Do you remember your predictions?
Hardly.
Hardly.
That means no.
I'm sure. I mean, I really don't. I know my tilt. If I remember.
Okay,
I
well,
mean,
give us your
if
tilt.
you want, I can take my turn because I remember my predictions pretty well.
Well, Brandon remembers his tail. Brandon.
Okay, go
Yeah,
for it.
I remember my tilt. My tilt, I'm pretty sure was I thought they were going to announce Beautiful Joe 3 at E3.
Yes, it was original.
Yes.
The whole original team is back as Capcom revives Beautiful Joe 3 exclusive to Nintendo Switch.
Yeah.
Well, they were saving it for next gen. you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I knew it was just gonna be. We're saving it for this.
It's just that Brandon thought PS5 was going to be 2019, you know?
Even though it's exclusive to Nintendo Switch in his own statement.
Nice.
It doesn't matter.
And then, Brandon, for your normal thing, you said, listen, they just launched Nintendo Online. They've got to add value to it. They already have Smash. They have Splatoon. Metroid Prime 4 will have a heavy multiplayer component that they're going to announce in January.
Oh.
So, they did announce something Metroid related in January.
They did. They did.
Metroid Prime 4 related. Except that it was that the game got cancelled and we're starting it from scratch.
Yeah, I mean, Metroid Prime 4 could still have a heavy multiplayer.
You know,
Good.
one of these days, that original prototype is going to come out, and we're going to we're going to find
Brandon
out
was
it
right.
all in on online multiplayer.
Keep holding
That
out
is
hope
true.
for Metroid Dread too.
It's
Yeah.
true. And never give up, you know?
Oh yeah, I still believe.
So there's that. Saf, do you remember yours?
Coming out on the DS.
So I remember my original one, where it's like I think it was Metroid Prime 4. It will have a
Mhm.
release date in 2019.
Mhm.
I believe that was the original one, and my tilt one was the most magnificent tilt out there. It was
Okay, you're
Oh, I remember.
very
Shit.
pleased with it, yeah.
it's fuck, what's his name? Itoi.
Shigesato Itoi, yeah.
Itoi. Yeah, he will learn English. He will learn all the colloquialisms. He'll learn the entire lingo. He will come
Yes.
on the E3 and he will announce in perfect English that they're going to be translating Mother 3 for the West.
With a HD remaster, you also
With an
clarified.
HD man.
Oh,
Sorry.
You said the sentence, idioms will be said on stage to show that you truly understands the language.
Oh,
You said a spotlight will shine down and he will ascend from the heavens was your exact verbiage.
I remember that part.
And then your normal prediction was right. You said Metroid wasn't at the Game Awards. It's not going to come out in 2019. E3 with a re-revealing Metroid Prime 4, and the 2019 Game Awards is where they will announce a late 2020 release date for Metroid Prime 4, to which three of us said, that's too negative, come on. Turns out, not nearly negative enough.
Got proven wrong in the first 2 weeks.
Man, we were really feeling Metroid Prime last January.
We believed.
We had no reason not to.
Yeah. I'll do mine because it's boring. I said there won't be a Switch Pro. They're just going to have a revision Switch that's going to replace it with a new battery, and they're going to make it where it can't be hacked as easily, which happened. Though I do appreciate that I did say that they're going to price drop it, which was wrong. They did not price drop it, the madmen. And Ills and I joked, well, we're mad that we're not going to get the Switch Pro because the Switch can't handle VR, which then like 2 months later, Labo VR got announced.
Nice.
So...
Perfect.
And then my tilt was we're gonna have they can't just release another 2D Zelda again after Breath of the Wild, so they're gonna do a big full co-op 2D Zelda game that uses the Toon Link art style. Grezzo gets to make their own new version of Zelda, which instead they said no, we can just do 2D Zelda again. We can just do that.
Literally, just released the same game we already did.
Yeah.
So you do it.
Kinda.
Kinda. Then Ills, remember yours?
Oh yeah, mine were easy to remember.
Mhm.
The first one, the regular one, was that Final Fantasy VII was gonna come out,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was gonna be all in one disc, maybe.
It's the whole game, but with
Yeah.
6 separate discs.
Oh Jesus! And
You might be right though, because part 1 alone is 2 discs, so we might get 6
Oh my
discs at the
God.
end of it.
part one
Yeah.
is 2 discs. Oh my
Part
God.
1 is 2 discs.
It's over 50 gigs, so they have to do it over in 2.
And that it was actually going to be good, which I don't know about that
Mhm.
one. I might still
Yeah.
be right.
To be seen.
I might still be wrong.
Yeah.
And the other one was that Gino was going to get a character action game.
In the style of Bayonetta, and the
Yeah,
exact
style
phrase you said
Bayonetta.
is that he's going in guns blazing, he's gonna kill everyone.
That's what I hope for.
Yeah. Which, I mean, could still happen, right? Who knows? January Direct, brother, get excited.
How confident were we in the prospects of a January Direct last year?
Very. We were saying, like, some of these we were saying we might get confirmed in 2 days, you know? Like, it was February. It was February.
The direct wasn't until February.
And then Noah's not here to guess his, but can anyone remember what Noah's were?
I'm pretty sure one was Pokemon related.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what, but it was Pokemon related.
So his normal, I think, was Fire Emblem 3 houses will have interactions with Fire Emblem heroes. You can summon all your units from heroes into 3 houses.
Oh my god. Was that his normal one or his
Imagine if you could do that.
That was normal. That was normal.
ridiculous.
There was some interaction. If you pre-ordered the game, you got a special violence for your Heroes game.
Yeah, but I mean, imagine you could fucking get all those 200,
200,
300 heroes into the fucking...
It's a lot.
Ridiculous.
A lot of models to make.
Yeah.
And then he said, for his crazy prediction, he said he was gonna guess FF7, but Ills took it. So he said, fuck it. Pokemon Gen 8 is gonna be a let's go game. There's gonna be literally no battles. Everything's gonna be motion controlled. You won't use a stick. It's gonna fucking suck. I will hate it. Which might be the most. I mean, for Noah, I think that rang true. You know, like, so you know, and we noted at the time that there was a Freaky Friday situation where suddenly Moose was very positive on Pokemon and Noah suddenly was very negative on it, and how that might change when the game gets announced. Did not change when the game got announced. There it is. So there it is. So I would say of those, we got like half of one right, basically, I would say. But here's where we reveal the twist. Okay? We were sandbagging last year, alright? We had inside sources, okay? We didn't want to out them, right? So we intentionally gave a bunch of bad answers for this year, saving it for the big next-gen leaks. And while I said it last year, this year I mean it. These are not predictions. These are spoilers. We're gonna do it. So
we
instead...
out Jason Schreier.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, I didn't want to say his name. We have to cut that out in post, but
Okay,
you know, it's
sorry.
fine. But this year we're going to take a slightly different approach. We're going to do one for each of the major console manufacturers. Sorry, Google. So if you want to throw in a Google one, you can. But Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo, and then a third-party related prediction. All right. So who wants to go first? I think we should all do like all of our Microsofts at once, all of our PlayStations at once.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Okay. So I guess I'll just kick off then with Microsoft as the one I put first. And I say, obviously, to continue, on the new year, talking about Game Pass, as we've done the last 2 years, they're doing big on Game Pass, obviously, with Series X, right? And with whatever else they have. And so they're going to announce at the series, at either E3 or wherever they have their more, details unveiled. Elden Ring, the game by Bandai Namco and From Software, is a launch game for Xbox Series X and is on Game Pass day one. So it's essentially an exclusive. There's no reason to not get Game Pass if you're getting Elden Ring, baby. And it looks best
Elden
on
Ring-
Series X.
If Elden Ring is on Game Pass day one, I no question I'm buying a Series X. Over PS5.
And Elden Ring premiered at the Microsoft conference last year, so they might have a marketing deal already in place. They're willing to drop fat cash, obviously. They gave Capcom like $30 million to get a bunch of their games on Game Pass. They're doing it, baby.
I think that's a pretty. I mean, they would have to dump a lot of money to get Elden Ring on Game Pass.
They're Microsoft. They got fat
But they're
stacks. They can't
Microsoft.
spend this
Yeah.
money fast enough.
Exactly. And I do think genuinely, I don't know if it'll be to the scale of Elden Ring, but I do think Game Pass is going to get like a big game, they're gonna money a third party game to get on Game Pass. I'm there with you.
I hope it's true. God damn. I want it.
Save me $60.
It would.
Yeah.
Brandon might finally play a FromSoft game. How about that?
He's gonna play it this year. He's gonna play it from software this year.
Yeah, I might have to play one anyway because of the New Year's. But
Ooh. So besides that, okay, who wants to step up next for Microsoft predictions?
I'll go next.
All right.
I think the Series X is gonna come out with their own VR headset, and we're gonna have a Halo VR game.
A Halo VR game.
Oh, Halo! Oh,
Phil Spencer would tell you nobody is asking for it. So.
You know what? Phil Spencer's a known liar.
I need someone
we
to
didn't
give me
trust
a
him.
VR headset so I can play Half-Life Alyx. Goddamn.
I wonder if they will have a partnership with one of the third party ones, right? Like either Oculus or whoever else. Because I don't know. I feel like a big problem with VR is still like, if you don't have a PlayStation, do you have a PC strong enough to run it?
Yeah,
Who knows?
exactly.
Who knows? Series X could be that answer. It looks like a PC tower. Come on, we're already halfway there.
I hope so.
I don't think they'll have VR.
Well, Moose, bad news. It was a spoiler, so it's gonna
Oh
happen.
shit! You're right.
Yep.
All right. So who next for Microsoft?
Mine's is kind of
I'll go
basic. Where
Okay, Seth, you go ahead.
sorry, I just jumped in. But it's Microsoft is going to double down on like it being for the gamers, and they're going to make the Elite controller the default controller for the Xbox Series X.
Okay.
And cheap.
So will that come with the
They already
price
showed
drop?
the controller, Seth.
Yeah, bad news, Safi. we know the controller it ships with.
Once again, you need to understand these are spoilers. Saf is right. We have to assume that Saf is
that
right.
was just a fake out. That was a fake out for the big reveal at E3.
Yes. Why would they just stick a share button on it? You know, it doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Please be
You're gonna have
excited
more.
for the D-pad.
Please be, dude. I do wonder if they ever drop the Elite controller price. 'Cause 200's a lot.
Yeah.
I think it's there for a specific market and it is priced accordingly.
It's for the gamers.
Probably it's for the gamers.
I'm just going to go
That's
for
fine.
it. It's just
Gamers.
cheaper then.
They're just stealing the PlayStation 4 marketing strategy. They're gonna use hashtag the number 4 the players.
There you go.
X the players. All right. So there it is.
Kind of sounds like a threat.
Well, I mean, maybe it is. You know, maybe you got to be on the lookout for Phil Spencer. All right. So who wants to step up next?
I guess I'll go now. I'm gonna say that the moment we've been waiting for is finally here. Everybody's been asking for it, and Banjo is finally back.
Okay.
Damn it! That was mine.
Well, Muzzy, let's see how much ours line up with each other, and if yours is a little bit different, we can let us know after. But Banjo's finally back. Rare is obviously Rare, and they're making it's going to be a 3D platformer. It's none of that bullshit. They're like back to the basics. They it's Banjo 3. It's none of this bullshit. No vehicles. And they make sure to joke about it in the trailer.
When you say Rare, you mean like the new Rare or like Platonic Rare?
Well, I'm talking about just Rare. I mean, I don't
Rareware. Whoever is currently employed at Rareware.
Yeah,
Okay, that's fine.
I don't say that they get Platonic in there, but I do think that it also, when they announce it later on at Nintendo's press conference, it's going to be on the Switch as well.
Whoa!
Ooh.
There it is.
See, mine was similar but not quite. So I'm gonna do a different one, but I was gonna say we were gonna get a remake called Banjo Redooey.
Oh.
My God, how have you done this? This is $1 million idea, and you give it away for free?
And
Come on!
well, it's spoilers. It's happening.
Phil,
And-
he's listening. You know this.
We're getting both. We're getting Banjo 3 and Banjo Redooey.
How can he be listening if these are spoilers?
And
We're making it happen because that's why Phil's going to make the things happen that we've said here. That's why they're spoilers.
it's gonna be developed by Playful, who made Lucky's Tale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Rare's doing Banjo
And it will
3,
be on the
Playful's
Switch as
doing-
well.
Oh, see, yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me, Muzzy, we're our hearts are one. Both of
We're-
our ideas
They beat
are
together.
coming together. They're gonna announce both at the same time.
Mhm. All right. So there it is to review. Oh no, Moose, you have a new one. Actually, you're right. What's the new one you have to do?
Well, so the new one I'll go with, I guess, is that so Microsoft, they've been a little chummy with Nintendo lately and Valve.
That's upsetting. Yeah. Where's the brand loyalty?
And Halo just came to Steam, right?
Yep.
So Halo, the Master Chief Collection, is coming to the Nintendo Switch this year.
Okay.
Alright?
I don't believe that.
I feel like you
Well.
said the same thing last year, but this year it is happening.
That's like
This
100
is-
fucking
That's a
gigs.
Switch prediction. Is this a Nintendo prediction?
No. Microsoft published.
Microsoft published game technically counts.
Yeah.
Sure.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. And also Halo Infinite will be Game of the Year.
Okay. All right. Wow, that too. Just show that in there.
That's a prediction.
Oh boy.
There will be a
That's a
crossover with
spoiler.
Pokemon, and Pokemon and Halo Infinite will share the trophy for Game of the Year.
Wow.
There it is. So to review, Microsoft is making a VR headset with Halo VR, is making the Elite controller the new controller, is getting Elden Ring Day 1, is doing Banjo-Kazooie and Kazooie, and is also publishing a Master Chief Collection on Switch. So that's going to be, look forward to that, all those things coming down the pike.
What a good year.
Yeah, big year for Microsoft. Then
And
for,
apparently the Switch too.
yeah, we just cannot not talk about the Switch in his predictions.
Yeah, my PlayStation prediction. Kratos is coming to Smash.
In Smash.
Oh god damn.
All right, for Sony predictions. All right, the PS5 is going to be the. I guess I'll go first. I just went straight into it. The PS5. You know, we talked about Sean Layden, right? We talked about him. He's gone now. It's the Jim Ryan era, baby. Okay, you know what Jim Ryan loves? Services. Sean Layden hated them. And so they're going to rebrand and relaunch PS now. It's going to be a new word for it because they're like, we don't even need to worry about that old branding. But they're like, hey man, Game Pass is hugely successful. When we're announcing, you know how like PSN sort of and digital storefronts on PlayStations came into the fore this gen, right? They made that a big focus of their thing, their initial push. They're doing the same thing with PS Now, right? So all their stuff, God of War 2, Horizon, they're going to announce Horizon 2. It's going to be day 1 on PS Now when the PS5 launches. So it's going to be Elden Ring versus Horizon 2 head-to-head launch day. Watch out, brother.
Wow.
Yeah. You can hear halfway through that I added things onto mine because there wasn't.
Yeah, I could.
Horizon and what?
Horizon and Elden Ring are going to go head-to-head launch day, you know?
Yes.
Battle of the
Is it gonna
Services.
Is it going to be called Horizon First Dawn?
Sure. Yes,
Okay.
let's say yes. And also, all their games are going to be coming to PC. There's going to be a PC PS now.
Oh, that's a yes.
Well, he just added like 3 things to his prediction. I mean,
Jesus.
Yeah, that's the way I do it.
We just keep running, just until I shoot myself in the foot. All right. So there. This is that 5-part prediction. Who's up next?
I'll go.
Should I go in the
I'll
same
go.
order? Or?
Hills.
I think PlayStation is going to go back to its roots with the PS5 launch, and they're going to release their very own Breath of the Wild clone.
They're gonna. What does that entail?
It's just going to be a fucking straight up rip of Breath of the Wild.
Is it
with some
Horizon
random
First
fucking
Dawn?
character? What?
Is it Horizon First Dawn?
Maybe.
No, it's gonna be like that, like that anime ripoff of Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, I'm interested
yeah.
in that anime ripoff. To be honest, it looks.
It turns out Sony's funding that game.
No, they done it. How they do
What a
this?
twist!
Oh boy, open
Whatever
your
happened
eyes.
to that
So,
game?
for-
Did
so
that game
far-
come out?
Supposedly, it's looking like fucking incredible. Like that's just what I've heard. I don't know. If that's
Apparently,
true at
Anime
all.
Breath of the Wild is good,
Top
and it's
five.
being
yeah.
published by. I mean, Sony's first party's making it, so that checks out.
They
You know,
are.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
It's gonna be good.
that's everyone said God of War 2. We were not thinking of Santa
I
Monica
can't
making
believe the
that.
first 2 predictions we have for PlayStation are them just copying somebody else.
I mean,
Listen.
you can't believe that? How can you not?
Wow.
Do you know
Look,
PlayStation?
I do
at all?
not stand by these statements. Okay, I
No,
Sony
well,
is
I'm not. You know,
individual, and
I'm not
unique.
saying it's a bad thing. You know,
It's just funny. It's just funny. We're not saying it's a bad thing, but it's just funny that it's the first 2 predictions.
no, that's sometimes that's the way the cookie bumbles. Saf, save us from this.
Mine
We're
was
done.
actually you've actually hinted towards my one earlier on, where I think Sony is going to launch a more premium version of their PSVR system, alongside the
Okay.
announcement that Half-Life Alyx is going to be a console exclusive.
Gabe is on stage again at E3. He's
Dang.
back.
Wow,
Great.
Microsoft got their VR system, but it doesn't matter because Half-Life still isn't coming.
Hills would kill himself.
Hills would die.
What's the point of living anymore?
We're in it. You know, we're doing it. You know,
The thing is, if
these are some
Half-Life Alyx
predictions.
comes to PlayStation and we get new VR, they better have new fucking Move controllers, man. The Move sucks. The Moves suck ass.
I agree.
We need new VR controllers for the PlayStation.
Finger
That's
tracking, baby.
Yeah.
That's part of it. That's part of it.
Get me some gloves like Minority Report.
Hey, isn't there one of the VR headsets that does that? I don't know.
And
Anyways.
get some fucking better
Okay.
earplugs, for fuck's sake. I don't like the earbuds that they have with the PSVR. It's annoying.
You can use
Heard
any
it,
earbuds.
You can just
though.
plug in.
Say it. They'll do it. This is a spoiler.
is true.
Just say it.
Yeah.
Jim's also listening.
Yeah, he is.
Better noise
Oh,
cancelling earplugs. More comfortable.
Okay.
What if Jim Ryan actively spites us and does the opposite though?
No, Jim is.
He makes the earplugs worse. Wait, hell, get Valve on the phone. Tell him to fuck Half-Life and give it to
we hate them now. We're gonna sell in PS5 despite Jump Up Supercast. All right, so there it is, Brandon.
So, this Sony's learned from their mistakes. I would like to think, and PS4 not being backwards compatible, big deal. PS5 not only, of course, it's backwards compatible with PS4. But it's backwards compatible with PS1, 2, and 3 as well.
Whoa.
Ooh, the full that patent
The
last
full
year.
thing. It's
Mark-
getting all
Mark
5.
Cerny, he's working his magic.
You can take your PS2 and you can fucking smash that thing into pieces.
Yeah,
What the
screw
Because
you.
you don't need it anymore.
I don't
Keep
watch
your discs,
DVDs
though.
anymore.
Is it gonna be like backwards compatibility on Xbox where it's like they run even better than ever?
Yes.
Run better than ever. Put your disc in. You got Gran Turismo 2 on the PlayStation 2, I think. I don't know if
4K.
that's true. Throw it in there. You grab the original God of War, pop it
4K.
in. You got Siphon Filter,
4K.
pop it in. Do it, baby.
Yeah.
All 5.
4K.
Okay.
We did
Lock
it.
in.
You know, to give. I mean, obviously, we don't need to justify these because they're happening. But there was a patent that was basically saying this that old Marcus Cerny has been working on apparently. So we'll see.
Oh, man.
let's
Rip
see.
Knack 2. Feel bad.
Yeah,
Or Knack 3 or whatever.
that would be sick though. You know, that'd be. I mean, when I say that would be sick, that will be sick. Is what I mean.
It will.
I would,
Mhm.
I would throw my PlayStation 2 out the goddamn window if that happens.
Yeah,
Damn.
Literally?
Literally, I'll record it for you.
that would get at
Oh my
least
God.
one retweet.
The second story window that I'm in, I'll fucking hawk it as far as I can.
Oh, there actually is a Knack 2 already. Jesus Christ.
Did you? Oh no.
Yeah, NAC 2 is a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got it for free on Australia PSN. Weird world. All right, so then finally Muzamil.
My turn. So I think, Sony, they're gonna go hard on first party, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
we already know.
Right.
They're going to make their Breath of the Wild clone.
Yeah. But in addition to that, though, right? So I think that they want to have a big launch because they know exclusive sell systems, right?
Okay.
Mhm.
And so they're gonna put Spider-Man 2 out at launch, but that's not it. That's not it.
Oh.
Spider-Man 2? No.
No.
They're going back to their roots. Okay,
The rules.
they're calling up Activision. They're throwing them. They give them a blank check. Crash
Blank?
Bandicoot 4 is
Damn.
coming exclusively to the Sony PlayStation 5.
Okay. All right.
At
Damn.
launch.
I thought for a second you were about to say Crash is in Spider-Man 2, which makes no sense. But that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, no. So Spider-Man 2 and Crash Bandicoot 4
All right,
are
well,
their
makes sense.
premier launch games
You know,
for the PlayStation 5.
I mean, we haven't. Where is it Vicarious Visions? Where are they? You know?
Yeah,
What have they
Vicarious
been
Visions they've been missing for a while. You know?
2017.
And they're clearly working on a new Crash game.
Yeah.
And it's surprise, it's PS5 exclusive.
Whoa.
If it was actually PS5 exclusive, which it will be because I just said it,
Of course.
I would buy a PS5 at launch, like no question.
So you're buying a PS5 at launch,
So,
and Elden Ring is going to be there day
Elden
one,
Ring,
so you're
yeah.
buying that day one
Ah.
too.
I'm gonna be down $1,000.
Bad luck, bud.
Nice.
In
You mean
November
both, buddy.
2020.
Yeah.
I mean,
All right.
how's that differ from any other time?
I have been telling myself I'm only gonna get one console.
You've been
This
lying to
time.
yourself, you mean?
What?
Yes.
Maybe.
Yeah, absolutely.
So to review, Sony is going to make all their games on the new PS Now be day and date with Horizon 2 at launch. They're also launching with Spider-Man 2 and with Crash 4 as exclusives as well as Breath of the Wild 2 as an exclusive. Not Breath of the Wild 2, excuse me. Also, they've got Half-Life Alyx with their new PSVR, and it has full backwards compatibility where all old PlayStation games run at 4K. That's a great console. You know, that's an incredible launch. You know,
Great year for PlayStation.
Great
man.
year for PlayStation.
Jesus Christ.
It's looking
Now
great.
we gotta go all negative on Nintendo now. Just
Balance the force, you know. Yeah. So Nintendo. All right, I'll go first again. All right. Last year, 2019, we had a great indie partnership with Cadence of Hyrule, right? The Necrodancer team, and so they're going to continue that. They're going to have a new indie developed Splatoon spin-off that's based off the like Salmonid mode, because they did that recent tweet where it says save our salmons, all right? And Mr. Grizz is the bad guy. And the thing is, Matt Makes Games, the developers of Celeste, are making the Splatoon spin-off, all right? It's gonna win someone's Game of the Year.
Oh,
Not everyone.
Wait, what kind of game is it?
It's a platformer. It's a 2D platformer, 2D pixel art platformer. And they use the like dipping in the ink platforming that's fun in the single player campaign a lot. They're going full ham with it, dog. They're going wild, right? It's Octo expansion, but in a 2D space with one of the modern, masters of 2D pixel art level design in the people that made Celeste and Towerfall and all these other games.
So are you going to be hunting
Alright.
and killing little baby inkling squid?
You're going to be killing salmonids. You're going to learn that the salmonids have families and cry at the end of the game. That's a guarantee.
Jesus.
You've been stealing their eggs. This is effed
right?
up. Mr. Grizz, you will turn halfway through. You'll learn that he is essentially committing genocide, and you've been helping. So you've got to learn that. You've got to make up for your sins.
This is really dark.
Yeah.
Splatoon has a dark universe, man. It's post-apocalyptic.
So you're gonna. The last level is just gonna be invading Driscoll and just blowing up that company.
We're gonna kill that fucking statue, dude. He's dead.
Right.
So there it is.
Awful.
Once again, look for that's gonna be in the Summer Indie Showcase. Mark that one down.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll go. All
right.
And I'm gonna go a little more tame this time around. I think Nintendo's finally gonna release my one true desire, which is a fucking new Mario Strikers game. Jesus Christ. Gonna get some fucking Mario Strikers on the Switch. This is the only time I've ever liked soccer. Bring it back.
Here's a question. So Next Level Games just made Luigi's Mansion 3. Who is making this one?
I have no idea.
Okay, I was about to say, you could say literally whoever, and it would be the case, right? So, it could be...
Still Next Level Games.
Valve.
It's the Mario team.
Valve is making it. Why not? They're making one. They're on every console.
Is it going to be VR too?
Yes, of course. Switch
Nice.
Labo VR. We haven't had was Mario. We only have one Mario sports game on this console so far.
Yeah, just tennis.
It's a pretty slow pace. Get it up there.
Spoiler alert: golf is coming.
Golf is coming.
Fuck golf.
I don't know about this, but it's
Fucking
coming.
fuck golf.
Mario Golf is great.
I don't give a fuck about
right?
golf.
I love golf.
Fuck golf.
No.
I agree with all.
Really
the
aggressive conversation over golf.
I want soccer.
Are you seeing people get mad at golf, dude? They break the
Fuck
clubs.
strikers. Give us
Strikers
golf.
is shit. The
Strikers is very
awesome.
good, but also golf.
Strikers is shit.
The
You're right.
shit.
My gosh.
I'm scared. So,
Remember how we started off
Should
this thing was we're gonna be more low key on this prediction, and then it turned to screaming.
Then he started talking about golf.
It's true. He took Striker's moment.
Well,
Will they make it more violent than even Charged was?
What? Charged violent?
Charged, you go in the electric fence and you're like, "Ugh," you see the skeletons of the Mario characters.
Mario.
All of them get
draw
possessed by
blood
like demons
himself.
when they do their super shots. Remember?
I just remember it was
games just
a
loves
really
that
good
violence,
game.
man.
And it was surprisingly difficult in the story mode, but yeah,
Yeah.
real good.
So there it is. So that's another one. Lock it in. Right.
Lock it in.
Saf?
I have decided that Nintendo. I'm gonna go the exact opposite way from Ills. I'm gonna go wild with this shit, and Nintendo is just going to do a new spiritual successor to Mother, starring Metroid.
What?
So it's
What?
just Samus
What?
Aran
What do you mean?
going around
Wait, pardon?
Earthbound. Mother.
Yeah, I know what Mother is. I know what Metroid is. I'm not putting them together, Saf. You're gonna have to walk me through this.
They're making a Metroid RPG?
I mean,
Yeah.
Mother and
You'll be walking
Mother
around
and
space.
Metroid is about motherhood,
It's true. MOM. Other
Yes,
M.
okay.
Mom.
Apparently we need
Making
to
the
bring this
connection.
The
up.
bottle ship.
Yeah.
The
Alright,
mother.
So is it
You're going to be
related
in
to Other
Samus's
M in any
gunship.
way?
You're going to be exploring different planets, finding weird people, real humans, doing weird
Okay.
things.
Is this related to Other M in any way?
Is this part of the
if you want it to
canon?
be. It'll be part
Will
of the canon.
Silex appear?
Don't.
Oh my god, Psylocke is never coming back.
Will he appear?
He's never coming back.
No, he's not.
Will
gone,
there be
he's
a
gone.
poster that says Dread on it, so we finally get Metroid Dread?
Oh man, I hope so.
Oh, I think that'll be the TV show in that whole entire RPG. They're gonna have
What?
their own
What the
universe.
fuck is
There's a
There will be a
TV show
TV show inside the RPG.
Is this like a Quantum Break thing too? Like what?
What?
It's gonna have its own established
Okay,
universe.
all right. Metroid Dread, the Netflix original series, will play inside. What's the name of the game?
Oh, it's just Mother 4.
Metroid's Cross Earthbound.
You know, Earthbound has aliens.
FE Encore Mother 3 Metroid.
Echoes
At
of
one
Release
point-
of Age, Definitive Edition.
At one point, Samus will find Ness.
Okay. She will crash land on
means
Earth.
And stop
Yeah,
him.
she's
Somebody
Earthbound.
stop him.
All right.
He'll be sleeping in Porky's little.
No, I don't want any more details
Alright.
because these are spoilers.
Yeah,
we
I
don't
want to
spoil
play
it.
this game.
Gotta-
Please
yeah,
stop
yeah.
spoiling it.
Yeah.
When is this getting announced, Saf?
That's going to be announced at the Game Awards.
Okay, Game Awards 2020.
Okay.
2020.
So
okay.
we got a little bit of a wait.
Yeah.
Himself
Can't
a
wait.
good amount of cushion.
Jeff will be like, sometimes you get a real surprise like this, and then it'll be
Yeah,
there.
it's only suitable for the Game Awards. This type of surprise.
Of course, of
Fucking-
course. You need a live audience, you know.
God. People will just go, what? A child's crying in the background. All right, so there it is. That's happening. Brandon?
All right, so this year, I can't top that shit. But for this year, the Nintendo Switch is all about the numbers, baby. And Muzzy's getting excited just thinking about
Yes.
it. But it's all about the numbers, okay?
Numbers, okay.
And this year is the year of 3. You thought 2019 was the year of 3 because we got Luigi's Mansion 3 and 3 Houses.
Uh-huh.
And but no, dog, this is the year of 3 because we getting No More Heroes 3.
Uh-huh.
We're gonna get Bayonetta 3 this year.
Okay.
And god damn it, I'll be goddamn.
I'm sticking with
We're
it.
getting Mother 3 this year too.
Oh, we're getting Mother 3.
Okay? And one more thing for the numbers.
Uh-huh.
Animal Crossing is gonna push those numbers because it's selling 15 million in its first fucking calendar year, baby.
Oh,
It's the
damn.
year of the numbers. And throw in Beautiful Joe 3. Why not, you know?
Beautiful Joe 3, yeah, that too.
Another 3.
Well, that's just a given, though.
That's just we didn't.
Yeah.
It was an unsaid. I just want to make it clear for the
Yeah.
audience. Yeah. I mean, come on, Brandon. You have the closest to reasonable predictions there.
What?
Wow, come on.
I also appreciate that you threw in the numbers.
I only asked for one game. And it's
You
the
know,
third
that is
game.
true.
It's the third game.
That was unfair to Ills.
It's Strikers 3.
Ills, I will not lie to you. Your Oh, it is Strikers 3. Oh my God!
I'm telling you, it's the year of 3s.
Wow. You know. But I will not lie to you, Ills. Your prediction feels a lifetime ago after the journey Saf sent us on. Good.
I don't know how to repair myself.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the Strikers 3. That works. Yours two coincide. And I like just throwing in Animal Crossing selling 15 just because you wanted to, prove it.
Oh yeah, it's gonna do it.
All right. So finally, Muzamil.
All right. I'm gonna bring it back a little bit, okay?
Okay.
Yes, it's the year of 3s. Yes, it's the year of Mother Crossed Earthbound.
Yeah.
Great
Great
name. It is also the year of girl games.
Girl
right?
games.
Nintendo is going all in
Game Girl.
on that audience. Okay, we already know Animal Crossing is coming out, right?
Mhm.
And we know in Japan, Famicom Detective Club is coming out, which, by the
Ayumi
way, is getting
Tachiba!
localized on the same day that it comes out
Okay.
in Japan.
I like that.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
day and date,
I
we're
don't.
getting that, all right?
River
But
City
we're also
Girls.
getting other games targeted toward it. We're gonna get Style Savvy.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna get Tomodachi Life.
Hey.
We're gonna get Rhythm Heaven. It's not really a girl game, but it counts.
It was part of the Touch generation or whatever. Beyonce played it, you know?
Yeah, Beyonce, exactly. Nintendo dogs plus cats plus
Hamsters.
Plus fish.
hamsters.
Tokyo Mirage
Yeah.
Session is for both boys and girls.
Ponies and unicorns.
Which, by the way, is Nintendo Dogs 3, so part of the year of 3 as well.
Oh my God.
and we all thought Odyssey 2 was coming out this year. I thought it was coming out last year. Sorry, Super Mario Iliad.
Thank you.
But instead, actually, the 3D Mario team has been working on something completely different.
Yep.
You see, they're making a game starring my good friend Rosalina.
Oh!
All right? Rosalina's getting a game this year.
Uh-huh.
And it's going to be announced at E3. I think.
Waluigi fans weep.
That's
It'll
true.
be out this holiday. Also, another Pokemon game is coming out. Why not?
Also, Moose, I'm looking at your paper, and you did miss one line, which is Breath of the Wild 2 continues it by having playable Zelda.
Playable Zelda! There we go. Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
Yep.
There it is.
So it's,
Right. Nintendo's releasing the Game Girl.
We're going all in on the female audience.
Oh, wow.
A fake gamer girls, Muzzy.
All right. So,
Man, we're drinking the bathwater now.
oh boy.
Oh no.
Tastes the same. But so to review for Nintendo, the Celeste devs are making a Splatoon 2D platformer spinoff. We're getting a new Mario Strikers game. Mother Cross Earthbound starring Samus Aran.
Wait, Mother Cross Earthbound?
That's what Saf said, so we're sticking
Yeah.
with it.
No.
Metroid Cross.
No, he said Mother.
Cross Earthbound.
He said Mother Cross
did I say
Earthbound, so we're
Mother?
sticking with it.
I thought
I think you said if not clearly it's Metroid Cross Earthbound, but I heard, you know,
Fuck it,
you know,
Mother's Cross.
starring also it'll be the TV show on the Netflix original series Metroid Dread, which will play in the game.
Yeah.
Then the Year of the Threes, which had a lot of things in it, and then the Year of the Girls, which had a lot of things in it. So just I can't remember all of them.
And Animal Crossing's pushing 15 million.
Animal Crossing's pushing 15 million, of course. Yeah, great year for Switch.
Amen.
Great year for Switch, you know.
Yeah.
Though honestly, a little weaker than Sony's. Got to be honest. You know, I wonder how they'll do.
I mean, how can you top Breath of the Wild?
It's true. It's hard to.
Oh,
I thought Switch is getting Breath of the Wild too this year.
Yeah, but that's nothing compared to anime Breath.
Anime
yeah, I
Breath of
mean,
the
there's
Wild,
like,
right.
there's
Never
like,
underestimate the power of anime.
unless
That's
there's a
true.
bit more
All I'm saying.
bikini costumes in Breath of the Wild 2, it's looking like it can't stack up.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, there it is. That's Nintendo, obviously. Said and done. You don't need to watch the directs. You know what's going to happen. Finally, third parties, right?
Mhm.
This one's relatively restrained. Actually, it's probably not, all things considered. But so one of the best partners for the Nintendo Switch has been Square Enix, right? They put out two genuine. Oh, they've announced they'd put out Octopath, right? Genuine exclusive. Then they have Bravely Default 2 just got announced, right? But that's going to be out by summertime. You know, they're going to have it done, right? So that'll be said and done. It'll come around to December time. Jeff Keighley will be on stage right after he announces Metroid Cross Earthbound, and he will say, and we have another thing for the Switch. And you might think, is he stuck on Kingdom Hearts forever? No, Nomura's Unleashed, and we're getting the roll-ins with you too, baby. It's happening. It's time.
Here we
know?
go. Now we're talking.
It's coming out. It's Switch exclusive because it's gonna be, you know, you gotta have the Joy-Con motion controls. Unfortunately, sorry, you Pro Controller fans. You can use the gyro actually, but you know, it's gonna be there. Neku's story is not over. You know what I'm saying? We got more to do, and it's gonna be a good time coming out 2021.
I am very much looking forward to this.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Hypest fucking announcement yet.
We did it. Hills, what's getting you going?
All right, so I think I'm gonna go a little tame on this one too. Well, a little bit more tame than yours. We're actually gonna get Beyond Good and Evil 2 this year. Surprising, I know. And it's not gonna be a complete disappointment. Get ready.
Whoa!
Oh, I like this prediction.
A
Get
continuation
ready.
of last year's FF7.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping my hopes up.
Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt has a lot of great artists on his team helping make that game be great, you know.
I really hope that that's true. Because
I'm sorry, Brandon. It's still going to be a prequel.
yeah. But if it's good, I don't care. As long as it's good gameplay. I mean, I'll still be mad about it, but it'll be good game.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be fun.
All right.
Fucking hope so.
Fingers crossed. Well, we don't have to cross our fingers. It'll be good. You know, it'll set them.
Yeah, I just said so.
Yeah.
It's our prediction.
Did I
Or never.
stutter?
Nope. That's my job. Saf.
I think EA will lose the license of Star Wars. Disney's gonna be like, nope, we're tired of your shit. We're gonna take this back. We're gonna open LucasArts again, and we're gonna do our own version of KOTOR.
Oh.
Is it going to be year 3, KOTOR 3, baby? There it is.
Yeah,
Well, no, because
It's gonna be in...
KOTOR is not part of the canon anymore.
Yeah.
No. KOTOR is not part of the canon anymore. And
It's gonna be in their own version.
Oh, it's a reboot of KOTOR.
Yeah.
Oh.
To implement all the ideas into the new canon.
God damn it. Just remake KOTOR and say it's part of the canon.
Will Babu Frick show up?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I hope so. I mean, if we're lucky.
We're lucky.
I mean,
It is Seth's prediction, but he can't see.
I mean, all we could do is maybe hope for it to be just like KOTOR 2, but implement some of the new stuff with it, possibly.
I think you mean KOTOR 1.
KOTOR 1, KOTOR 2. Doesn't matter. I like KOTOR 2.
KOTOR 1's better. Shut up, you're wrong.
No. I'm never wrong.
Time to scream again.
Very wrong.
All right. So there it is. And then, Brandon.
Okay. So Beautiful Joe 3 is going to get announced and it's going to come out, right? We all know that. I talked about it last year.
That's what I heard.
But Capcom was like, damn, we got the Clover dudes back.
Oh, damn.
We're not done with Beautiful Joe. We're not done. Beautiful Joe isn't the extent of what we're bringing back here now that we got the Platinum Clover boys working on Capcom games again. Okami 2, lock it in.
We already have Okami 2. It's called Okami Den.
No, the Okami Den is...
Okami Den!
This
Never
is
forget Okami Den!
Well, much like
The
Beyond
actual-
Good and Evil 2, it's a prequel, but it's still number 2, you know?
Yeah.
No, but it doesn't matter. Brandon said it, so it must be true.
It's
Okami
true.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a big
Okami
number
Den
2.
is not Okami 2.
Yes, it is.
Mhm.
No, it's not.
A true sequel.
But
This is
Okami 2.
This is it. Okami 2, it's coming out, all platforms, same day as Beautiful Joe 3.
Okay.
They
All right.
Same
both
day?
games.
A fiscal
They
year
developed
cannibalizing
Capcom,
themselves?
but they're doing it.
They developed both games at the same time.
Wow. And Bayo 3. Big year for
And
Platinum.
Bayo 3, big year for Platinum.
And they got
And
Babylon's
Babylon's
Fall
Fall,
coming.
yeah.
You know, they've been expanding. You know, they've been hiring. There it is.
Fuck it, we're gonna get Scalebound too.
Well, Capcom helped them,
Yeah.
Of course.
so it was they helped. God Hand 2, it's also coming out.
Oh god.
Oh, no.
Never mind. I don't like this year anymore.
Every single Clover game is getting a sequel.
Wow. Here it is. We found it, boys. You know, maybe Moose, maybe you've heard about this. Wasn't there actually talks about them doing Okami 2 for like a couple of years back that we found out about recently? Or was that rumor mill
Yes.
stuff?
So there was so there was apparently, you know, depending on how
This is rumor and hearsay, not official stuff.
It's rumor and hearsay, but it is someone who's very good. It's Liam Robertson, who to his credit, I'm a critic of his, but to his credit, he's very good about finding information about canceled games in particular.
That's what his series is all about.
And so basically, apparently, Capcom was going to hire Platinum to do Okami 2, but then things started falling apart. Platinum, specifically the CEO, got booted.
Mhm.
And because of that, talks fell apart and Okami 2 got cancelled.
But he's gone now. They've rebounded. Okami 2's happening this year.
They clearly very specifically liked that guy, though, because then the former CEO of Platinum is now working with them on
RE3.
Resident Evil 3.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's
So-
fine. But
they just really like they really like Minami.
They do. they love his tax evasion. He's really good at it. This is putting an asterisk, it's just hearsay. But Brandon,
Yep.
you did it. Okami 2 is happening along with every other Platinum game ever produced getting a sequel. God bless.
Yes.
Mizumil, what's the final one?
The final one. All right. Okay. All right. So we have a lot of quality launch games coming. We've talked about today, right? Elden Ring, Crash
Like a
4,
dozen.
Spider-Man 2, Breath of the Wild,
Anime.
Clone.
anime, all that shit, right?
All that shit.
Right. A lot of good stuff to play at launch, right?
They've just
And Halo
released that
Infinite's
shit.
gonna win Game of the Year, right?
Mhm.
Right?
Sure.
So it has to be a good game. However, just because Halo Infinite's winning Game of the Year, and just because we have all these amazing games, right, does not mean those are the best launch games, okay? Because the clear best launch game, all right,
Right?
is gonna be Watch Dogs Legion. Watch Dogs Legion is gonna blow people's minds away. It is gonna be
Who are
the
you?
most amazing game ever. Okay,
I feel like you got
It'll-
body snatched halfway through this discussion.
It will transcend all of these games. Okay,
Breath of the Wild 2
Assert
weeps
yourself
in the sights of Watch Dogs Legion.
it's gonna have it's gonna have the highest audience score on Metacritic ever recorded. Okay, word of mouth is gonna be so strong that it will sell 500 million units.
Okay.
All right,
What?
Will Grandma
Yeah,
become the new Mario?
it's gonna be Mario, and the reason being, you thought it was ambitious already, right?
I
Before you
mean,
can
500
control
million
anyone.
units, so.
Right? No, you thought the game was ambitious
Oh,
because you can
okay.
control anyone, right? Every NPC is a playable character, right?
Yeah.
Right?
But you see, there's actually an online component, and it's actually Second Life 2.
Hey! It's Second Life 2, everyone! Can you be a big dinosaur?
Yes.
Ooh,
can.
great! That's
Wow.
my one desire in every video.
I just dropped
Nice.
everything.
You just dropped everything.
Don't
I
see
mean, he
the
flipped
shit
the
that
table over
controls.
after that announcement. He flipped the table.
He did. Izgimo's very mad, just trying to bust down the door for ruining that reveal. All right, Watch Dogs Legion, greatest launch game of all time. Second Life 2 starts Ready Player One in real life. You know,
500 million copies.
500 million copies. Lock it in, brother.
Wait. Before we lock it in, can you mod? Can you mod that game? Watch Dogs
No.
Legion?
No.
This is so
You don't-
dismissive. No,
You don't mess with perfection, alright?
it's true.
I'm sorry.
All right, so there it is. So to review, World Ends With You 2 is coming out. Okay, this one's my brain's fully filled up. What was else?
Beyond Good and Evil 2.
Beyond Good and Evil 2 is good. Saf. Oh god.
LucasArts going to be reinstated. EA's going to lose the license to Star Wars. KOTOR.
Brandon.
Okami 2.
Okay.
And apparently God Hand 2 for some reason.
God Hand 2
Yeah.
as well.
Amuzamo.
Do you launch it with the new movie?
Watch Dogs Legion will be the best launch game of all time. And since the current best game of all time is a launch game, clearly that means
I'll be
Watch
number one
Dogs
on our
Legion
list. Mark it
is the
down.
best game of all time.
Oh,
All right. So there it is. That is
I'm
the spoilers for 2020. You can basically skip the year. You know, you don't need to be around.
what
we
do
don't
you
need to
mean?
play
You
the
have
games.
to check in every week.
You're right, but that's because we're going to also be spoiling. Next week, we're going to spoil 2021. By the end of the year, we're going to be up to like
tell you what's
2060.
happening, but we haven't told you our takes on it.
Jesus
you want to hear our
Christ.
takes.
You trying to?
Sure.
Our-
That's a valuable resource.
That's way more important than the actual announcement, just to be clear.
Yes. And
Yeah.
so, as you are right, Ms. Amel, it's time for us
Mhm.
to offer some takes on some old games on
Yes.
the list.
The
The
list.
list!
Follow along in the paste bin below, as every week we add more and more games to an ever-growing list of 155 video games that are good, bad, pretty middling, right? But we love them all. We don't actually love them all, it was a lie.
No.
But we love the list. And that is what is important. Last week was Saf. Was it Saf?
No, it was me.
It was Ills.
Final Fantasy 4.
Oh, yeah, C4 got added. Got high, 14. You know,
Yep.
you cannot be mad at that if you're a fan of Final
I
Fantasy
can.
4.
I'm not.
Brandon can be if you're mad. If you are a fan of the game,
I don't know
you can't
why
be
he's mad. He hasn't played it.
That's true. But
Maybe I did. I don't know. I played some. I don't know which one I played.
that was actually Tales of Symphonia, Dawn of the New World. You were just confused.
That game sucks.
He played Final Fantasy 4 the after years.
Oh baby, thinking of Trey. So this week I'm adding, right?
Right?
And I think there were games that came before in this franchise, but I'm gonna say this is the one that launched 100 million seller, boys and girls, in the upper echelon of best-selling series of all time for video games. That's right. Say it with me. We're gonna rank Lego Star Wars.
Hmm.
That's
Whoa.
Lego
So
I mean,
Star.
he's not wrong.
Bam.
Didn't lie a single time of that intro.
Untrue.
I don't even
Yeah.
know which game you're talking about.
The very first one, Lego Star Wars. Episodes 1, 2, and 3. They're doing it.
On the Nintendo. No, I thought it was the original trilogy, wasn't it?
No, the 4, 5, and 6 is Lego Star Wars 2.
Oh, so okay, the first one was okay.
Yeah, it's the
All right.
prequels. Which
I think I played this game.
here's
I
the
have
problem, right? We have I think 3 of us have played it at least, right?
I have.
Brandon,
Yeah.
have you?
I'm
Yeah, okay, there we go.
pretty
Okay.
sure I played it.
So here's
Real
the thing.
hazy.
If you have played a Lego Star Wars game, if you played a Lego game, you've played Lego Star Wars, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think it deserves credit for being the first one, right? This is the template that 15 years later they're still building off of, right?
You barely. Although I do like the play of words with building.
Yeah. But this is a game where it is obviously designed for children. It's a Lego game, right?
Yeah.
You're playing through the first 3 episodes of Star Wars. Infamous. Sorry, you prequel memers. Those movies suck. Okay, get
Yeah,
over
they do.
yourselves. But they somehow find a way to make those movies pretty charming. It turns out all you have to do is remove all the dialogue, and suddenly you're like, "Hey, this is fine."
And make them into Legos.
Yeah, just have them all pantomime everything that's happening. I think this game is best experienced in co-op, right? You at all times have 2 players on the field, right?
Yeah.
And so you can swap back and forth if you're playing in single player, but if you're playing in co-op, you're both running around, you're smacking things, you're collecting studs, you're collecting mini kits. A game that for a generation of kids that are now like becoming adults, I think was a game that there's a lot of nostalgia associated with, right? No, obviously not the most complex combat system. You just mash that B button, baby. But I do think it is Star Wars is a kind of a perfect fit in some ways because there's enough characters in it that you can have them do different things, right? R2-D2 can be different than C-3PO, can be different than Jango Fett, can be different than Qui-Gon Jinn.
And lots of different playable characters.
Yes.
I give that game some credit.
An insane amount.
Yeah. So there's just, and with all those collectibles, I think there's a surprising amount of replayability for it as ostensibly a kid's game, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. You're playing the same like basic structure, right? You're just switching. You're basically switching costumes when you switch characters. There's not a huge
different
amount.
characters have different abilities, right? Like Jar Jar can jump high. Different droids.
I mean,
can do
but there's
things.
like each one has
classes.
like a temp.
Yes.
Yeah, like a class.
Yeah, there's different. Yeah, it's sort of like Dynasty Warriors almost.
Mhm.
As a kid, I played through this game enough to get like the 100% secret stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I played this game quite a bit. All right.
I would say it's a good, I mean, I would say it's a really good, like, completionist type of game. There's a lot of rewards, too, as you play through. You unlock more stuff constantly.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, okay, go ahead.
so I don't know if we're going to talk more about the game, but I'm looking at the list where I want to rank it, right? I don't have any illusions of grandeur about it being some incredible video game, right? But I think it's squarely a good video game, right?
Yes.
And I feel like the right spot for me. See, this is a hard one. I think I would put it right above Zombies Ate My Neighbors, but below Time Crisis 2, which is at 112 on the list.
Wow, Legacy of Kain
I was
weeps.
scrolling right there.
Huh?
I want you to look at Legacy of Kain's face and say it to its face.
Well, Legacy of Kain, maybe he needs to get moved up, right? Maybe there's a couple of people who are there getting disrespected, but
Yeah.
I think that is squarely better than.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good game. Like, it's like I don't think it's anything special. But
I think it should be right above Kirby's Dream Land.
It's
Or maybe right above Rystar, because Rystar has serious problems. At least at the end.
I can't find.
117.
That's like 117.
Oh, okay, a little bit below that.
Because it's charming, but it's fairly like innocuous. Like it
Sure.
just kind of comes and goes.
I like it better than Sacred Stones. I'm gonna be real with you.
I thought Sacred Stones was fine mostly. I just thought it was boring.
Yeah, they're both just fine games, but like,
I'll give it.
but
that.
like, which I think is why they're a weirdly good comparison point. But I think Lego Star Wars is just like a fun, mindless romp.
Yeah.
Great
Lego Star
co-op.
Wars, very good game to play with like your little brother or something.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
I think there's a.
It's such an accessible game.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I think that like as a game, it's better than Kirby, but I think they sort of fill a very similar role in the landscape of the gaming, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Zombies Ate My Neighbors has a lot of similar strong suits. Like it's fun to play multiplayer, but I think that Zombies Ate My Neighbors gets in its way more, right? Like it's too hard, right? There's some BS in this thing. There's some BS. There's some parts in Geist that are pretty boring, right? There's a couple of other things. I think that maybe Geist has more interesting ideas, right? But I think that like in terms of or same for Sin and Punishment. But if I sat down to play it, I had more fun playing Lego Star Wars.
I don't really think like. I feel like Lego Star Wars is like so easy that I don't even have fun when I play it. Just kind of like
I was about to ask, like you mentioned it was like mindless fun that you can just go in and just do whatever the fuck you want and
I
not
wouldn't
think
even
about it.
characterize it as like mindless. I would just characterize it as mindless, not even mindless fun. Just like
See,
I think breaking
I
things-
genuinely had fun playing it.
I think breaking things that
like,
turn into like Legos when you hit them and just like the act of swinging the lightsaber, I think pairs well together. I think that like they kind of nailed the perfect franchise for it in one, which is why I think like everything after that has sort of always been doing just it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've played a lot of Lego games. I would played Lego in.
I would put Lego City
sequel.
Undercover above it. But that's a different discussion.
Lego City Undercover
Well,
is probably the best Lego game.
That's definitely, and it's also the biggest diversion though. Of the Lego formula.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this is just a really solid game with great Star Wars fan service, right? I feel like it's undeniably really fun to just play as like all these fucking Star Wars characters.
And I think that the environments are cool and how there's a lot of interactability, right? Just like using the force powers and different things, just to make them shake and see them reform and take the bricks and put them together, right? To me, there is obviously the base elements of the game are very basic, like you said, but I think that there's enough interesting things along the way that I was smiling a lot of the way through the game, right? Which I couldn't say for like Geist, for example.
I feel like Geist, I give ambition and scope like a lot more leeway there. Like even though it's not fun all the time, it does a lot more interesting things than.
I think there's something inherently ambitious about. Hey, we recreated every single locale in these 3 movies. We recreated every single character.
I actually think it's kind of bereft of ideas.
I would say like it's pretty ambitious and pretty remarkable that they make kind of like the shittiest movies actually interesting in a story.
It's a fun way to experience the prequel.
I mean, how ambitious is a rehash exactly?
I would rather play this game
making it actually decent
than watch the source material.
I mean, it's decent because you know how bad the original is.
No, not even just that though. I think it's a fun way to experience that story. I think
I laughed.
And I do think the Lego game's obviously very childish in its humor, but I think it's a genuinely kind of funny game.
Right.
I think it's there
is some funny stuff in there. Like
yeah.
I mean,
so sort of.
I really like the Star Wars game or the Star Wars Lego games. I mean, I like the Lego games in general. There's too many of them, but I've 100% completed on Xbox like Star Wars Lego. Lego Indiana Jones and Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Marvel Superheroes,
why? Jesus Christ.
They're good. They're fun.
Superheroes is like a cool open world game, actually. If you like Legacy Undercover, then it's cool too.
Yeah, Marvel Superheroes is actually really good. Before Undercover, I would have said it was the best Lego game I played.
But so where does everyone sort of feel?
I'm down to put it above Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
I'd like it above Sacred Stones.
I'm also down to put it above Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Okay. Well, Saf, you didn't play it, right?
Nope.
Okay. So I guess we'll put it above Zombies Ate My Neighbors, because I was where I saw it out. But hey, man, Lego Star Wars. That's one of those things that I was thinking about what to pick, and I was like, who knows?
That's a good pick. It's an interesting game to talk about.
It's weird because I was looking at the best-selling franchises and it popped up and I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's weird, huh?
We didn't have a Lego game on our list. Now putting a Lego game on the list gonna be weird.
We did have.
If we put another one on there,
we did have
I like the whip more than the lightsaber.
Yeah, because I mean they're all the same, so it's gonna be really weird to put it on there. They're all gonna be next to each other, basically.
Yeah. But they're surrounding it. We have number 110, Toomba. Number 111, Time Crisis 2. 112, Lego Star Wars. 113, Zombies Ate My Neighbors. And 114, Geist, which is a game club game. Now, obviously we're approaching the end of the podcast, but while I was looking back for episode 100, I did want to do a little just final guessing game, right? We had the very short-lived trivia segment on the podcast. I did the average game, not counting Lego Star Wars now, for each, the average ranking for each game, for each person for the games they brought. Gosh, that was a hard sentence to get properly. So, tell me what you think is number 1 to 6, and give me a number guess.
What do you mean 1 to 6?
1 to
Like,
6,
who do you think has the highest average rankings, which means that the game lowest number, right, is highest ranking.
Well, you have the lowest.
Okay.
I have the second lowest, I think.
Okay.
Saf has number 4. I think Brandon probably has number 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then Noah and Muzzy are 1 and 2. I'm not sure.
Close.
Oh.
Very close. Only flip Brandon and Noah. So, number 6 is me, as you said, at 85.94 is the average spot for me. But
I don't think you have a game in the top like 25.
But you're close, Ills, actually. 84.38. So almost only a point apart, basically.
Well,
and he has number 1 on there to like bring it up.
Yeah. Well, I guess we would not be further apart because where Lego Star Wars just got. But then Saf at 62.38. Then Noah at 61.54. So they're grouped together. Then then Brandon at 58.78, and Moose is number 1 with 48.38 as his average rank.
Jesus.
yeah, because look at the fucking bottom half of the list. He never appears.
10% higher than me, and I'm at second.
Yes.
So I have 2 games in hell.
Yeah, that's it.
About?
And then look above it.
Those-
You got nothing from like 148
Moose
to like
either plays
90.
bad or good. He plays no middling games. It is interesting. What do you think is the average game club rank? Median game club rank.
It's like 80, 90, something like that.
Yeah.
It's exactly 100.
Jesus.
Wow.
100. Well, 100.5 technically, because it's 100 and then 101 because it's an odd number right now. But that is, and the 2 games are Zack and Wiki Quest for Barbarossa's Treasure and Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. That is the median quality of game that we play according to the list.
Sounds about right.
Incredible.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's good. Those are both good video games. Zack and Wiki's, how dare it have the art style it has, but
Yeah, clearly.
I think Marvel Ultimate Alliance is like the perfect like average video game.
yeah, it's exactly what it needs to be, right? It's exactly it meets the bar, but it's not clear higher than that. But that is the list. That is the podcast for this week. Well, thank you all for listening. Does anyone want the final phrase?
I mean, I always want it, but if someone else wants it, that's fine.
And almost no one else wants it. So
I'm good.
I mean, you do it, Will.
okay. Well, all right. So then, Moose, you do the plug.
Oh, okay. So you can find us wherever you can find a podcast. So iTunes, your favorite podcatcher of choice. Not Spotify though. But also you can find us on the best place to find us is on twitter.com/jumpupsupercast, because you will be able to find out when we go when we're streaming, when our episodes are live, when our game club episodes are live. Which, by the way, we do the game club every other Monday or every other Thursday.
There you go.
Monday's the podcast. Yeah, every other Thursday. And the next Game Club game is Freedom Planet. So look forward to that. Also, so we stream sometimes on twitch.tv/jumpupsupercast. I will be streaming Sonic Adventure 2 pretty soon, so I'm not looking forward to it, but you should for
Pay
that
up.
exact reason. So yeah, that'll be an event. I'm aiming for every Wednesday or so, starting next week. So
Every Wednesday.
Look forward to that.
I will aim to try to be there.
Yeah, Will will
maybe-
probably be co-commentating with me.
Maybe I'll be there too. Also, I'm going to try
yeah.
to make it a goal of mine to stream more this year. So,
All right, yeah. So watch out for our Twitch. Okay, this year we're gonna start doing that more. All right. Also, we're on other social medias: Facebook.com/JumpUpSupercast, Instagram.com/JumpUpSupercast. On Instagram, you can get a sneak peek about Game Club stuff, so that's always fun. I assume Brandon still does that. I've not
Probably
kept up,
not.
to be honest.
yeah, I do once in a while.
Yeah. See, all right, it's worth checking out.
He
Okay?
never does it.
And we have a Patreon.
Do you fucking follow us on Instagram, bitch?
You know it's true. That's why you're laughing.
No, you know,
If it
I'm
wasn't
posting
true,
right
you'd be
now.
yelling at me right now.
I'm in the middle of doing it.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Well, if you like what we do, clearly, if you got to the end of this episode, you have. I don't want to say you have brainworms, but you you like us.
This was a loose episode.
Yeah, fast and loose. Yeah. But yeah, consider supporting us on Patreon. Throw us $1 or whatever. You'll be able to listen in on recordings live. You'll be in our very special Patreon chat where you get to hear all the crazy takes that we make in text form.
Okay.
Look forward to that. So that's a cool bonus. But otherwise, thank you for listening, and Will, take us out.
All right. So, 2019, I was thinking back on it, right? I was thinking about what are the things that I learned. And I think I want sort of to take forward into 2020 is there's a lot of video games coming out. There's a lot of news that's going to be happening, right? There is no shame in disengaging, for one. If you're finding the discourse to be not fun, you don't have to look at it, right? But two, sometimes it's fun to play a game that's not part of, like, the culture right now. It's not the new big game, right? It's a game for you and what strikes your fancy. I think the Game Club is a big thing that's helped sort of learn this from me, right? And so, sometimes if you are looking at, like, Cyberpunk, right? Final Fantasy VII, Last of Us, these big boy games, 20 hours, 50 hours, who knows how long they'll take, right? And you say, this isn't for me right now. There's no shame in that. Take a look and find an old SNES game to play through in an afternoon, right? Treat yourself to what you deserve, what you need, not what everyone else is talking about. Because you know what? They'll be there whenever you get back.